Hi guys, thank you again to be following my courses in estate agent power. So the second step and the second level on being a negotiator, obviously, for me is when you start communicating with your client. As soon as you put a really nice advert and you see that the people they start being attracting to your advert, they will start obviously to contact you and look for more information from you. So when you are obviously in communication with client, what you should do, the thing that I will always suggest you to do is to always call your client or invite your client to come first in your office, and this will make you avoid a lot of clients that they don't show up in the viewing, or they come there and it's not at all what they are looking for. So you need to ask them a few questions first to make sure what they're looking for you have it, and then after that always invite them first to the office. They will also have more opportunity to see more options with you. That's mean because most of the time a lot of agents, for example, they start advertising a property and then they have a client, and then the client, they meet them in the property, they even come and everything, and then they see the place, and then they will say, okay, we will get back to you, and then they don't show up, or they don't even show up on the meeting, or they don't come, or they come and they start saying, oh no, the information, they start saying that they're looking for something else. So this kind of thing we need to avoid them, because it's a lot of waste of time. If you probably have around 5 or 6 properties that you're advertising, and you have just around 5 or 6 people, one for each one, you need to go from one to the other one, and then you will not end up closing nothing. So avoid that. Always call your client to your office and you show him, and you will be always following obviously what I'm gonna be saying, and you will see it's gonna make it more easy for you to close the deal with your client and find ways for it. Some of the times as well, what's happened is like people, they come, they see with your property, they don't take it, they end up going with your colleague, seeing another property that it was next to that one, or it was in another area, but you still have it on your agency, and you see them closing the deal with your colleague, and you feel a little bit sad because you could have closed that deal, you could have made that commission. So to avoid all of this, always try to call your client first to your agency and convince them to come there for the first time. How to do that? So to do this, these steps obviously. So as soon as they contact you, most of the client, they contact you by phone calls, but even if they text you, you can always use the same way. Yeah. So the first step here is when they contact you, you need to welcome them. Just by phone, for example, just say, they will be like, hello, hi, I'm looking for Mr. X, that it's you, and they will be like, you will say, for example, hello, yes, thank you, yes, Mr. X speaking, how can I help you? Thank you for calling, Mr. Speaking, how can I help you, please? Yeah, and then they will be like starting to say exactly, okay, we saw this property around this area and we are interested, or they will say like, we are from somewhere and we are interested. And after this step, that of the welcoming, what you need to do, you need to do a warm up. This warm up, it's really important. Why? As they call it, is the ice breaking. Yeah, that's mean you break that thing of okay, I'm seeing you as a client, or I'm seeing you like a friend, and here you start winning the trust of your client. They will like be feeling more comfortable to talk to you. For example, if I'm talking and I know that someone, when you said like, that to me and he starts saying, okay, I'm looking for this around this area, and it sounds to me that he's Spanish, I would have asked him, are you Spanish? It would be, yes, I'm Spanish, and then you can start speaking a little bit about Spain. Oh, you guys is a nice place, Spain, and all this is a really nice place. Or if you are from the same country, you can just give some chat about that. You do some warm up about it. If it is not like that, you can always ask if they are from the same country, if they are not, just to make some warm up with them and make them feel like if you are their friend and you're looking to help them, not you are just an agent that you want to make a commission. So they need to be feeling like in a friendly way. Yeah, so the warm-up is a really important step. Never forget it, and never forget it. After you finish your warm-up, obviously you need always to make sure that you have the answer of this question. This is the first step, this is the second one. The third one is the question. You need always to ask all these questions. You don't actually need to ask them. Sometimes you just answer them straight away before that you ask them. So just make sure by the end of this conversation, you need to have the answer of all these questions. These questions are, for example, like when they need to move in, moving date, yeah, moving date, area, which area they're looking for. I know, for example, you've been posting this property on in a specific area. Why you will say that I need to ask them? You ask them because sometimes you have some client that they're looking for some property all around, not just on that spot. They're looking all around, and that's what's most likely happening with all the clients. So you just need to ask them if they are open to other area or they are interested only to that area. So ask about the area. How many of them if they are a couple, if it is only for one person, and if there are two couples, if you're doing like a work property, if you're doing just a room, for example, for flat share, you can ask if it is one person or two person, or how many there are, to know exactly if you're allowed to put one person on that room or you want only two. For example, it's the opposite way. If you are allowed to put two person, or if you want only one person. Yeah. Again, so we said the moving there, the area, how many of them. Try to know if they are professional or student. Or student. Why you need to know this is, for example, in most of the agencies, there's like a different deposit between a professional and a student. So you need to have all this information. And then the last thing is the budget. And always try to leave this one the last thing. Some of the time when you're speaking, they answer this question straight away, and that is the perfect thing. If they didn't, please just say, okay, may I ask in the end of this question, you can ask, may I ask you how much is your budget? Like, in order for you to make them understand that you're not just interested to know the money, about the money, to speak about the money, like money wise. Even if, yes, you are there to make your commission, but they don't need to feel like that. They need to feel like they are friendly